Well, hey there, little guy. You holding up there all right? You gonna lay an egg for me? A stack of diamonds? We don't need to talk about how chickens lay diamonds right now. It's a nice little data-driven component that you can modify in the snapshot. 24W37A. There's a lot to mention about ender pearls, and I kind of want to go into them in depth. There's one thing that's for sure. Ender pearls are super broken right now, very strong. Obviously, as a consequence, something was broken in the previous snapshot where they don't teleport you very well. But let's talk about what's changed. Ender pearls now teleport you to the correct location again. So if I throw this guy over there, I now teleport to that location. It's hard to tell with a flat world, but I've teleported away from the pen there, and now I can teleport back inside the pen. So this is not the only thing. Thrown ender pearls now load and tick chunks. What this means is that whenever I throw an ender pearl outside of the loaded chunk distance, they will stay loaded. And now it's gone, but it's still ticking. And as you can see, I've teleported where it's landed. So if I want to go all the way back, I'll just throw the pearl back there, and now I've returned where I started. So this is a strength that can be utilized for your own benefit. One of which, and what is most commonly used, is the stasis chamber. So let's say I wanted to load this plains village for whatever reason. I can place my stasis chamber over here, get a pearl, throw it in, and now this ender pearl is currently ticking in this area. It hasn't been landed yet, so it hasn't functioned as a pearl. It's just gonna stay there. Good way to test this out is to read this chunk, place a command block, and just say, I am loaded. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go all back to spawn. You can see the command is still ticking. And that's because that ender pearl is loaded. If I kill it, that chunk ceases to load. There is a little bit of a delay because the refresh rate isn't instantaneous. The area that is loaded around the ender pearl is a 3x3 chunk area. What this means is that this command block will remain loaded. This one just says pfft. This was right next to the ender pearl. This one is one chunk adjacent. It says this guy is such a tool bag. And then this one is neighboring the chunk loader by 2 chunks. And this one says, what's gonna happen is once I unload this village by teleporting away, this chunk will stay loaded, this one will stay loaded, but this one will not because it is 2 chunks away from the stasis chamber. So if I go back to spawn, the command block that says is no longer functioning. I can load this chunk by creating one additional stasis chamber over here, pearl down here. So now this chunk should load because it is right next to this one, the magical mystery tour. This is missing an OK. These 2 chunks are now gonna load, so let's get out of here. And there we go. So you can see that everything is now loaded. All those command blocks are now loaded because of those 2 and that additional stasis chamber inside the village plains. Now this also works in the nether. I realize the error of my ways, and that is because you can't do this in the nether. Heck yeah. That's gonna go in here. Giraffe. Let's go all the way back to the overworld. Well, I'm an idiot. When you kill yourself, the ender pearls also kill themselves. Alright, I fixed it. You can see giraffe is now loaded as well once I go back to spawn in the overworld. So that is cause for celebration. What should be noted is that they will unload when a player logs out, and they reappear when the player logs back in. Consequently, if an ender pearl does not have a tie to any player, such as this one, it will not load any chunks. So if I run away, that will not work. Okay, so what have I done? Whoa, what the heck? Knowing that ender pearls will now load everything. Behold my multi-shot ender pearl. I've done this before, but this is now even better because anything that they fly into will load. So watch this. Heck yeah. I'm just gonna enable my coordinates. I'm just gonna throw that. I'm gonna go everywhere. Exactly. And if I'm in survival mode, I'm gonna throw a couple of them. Oh, I'm gonna die now. I need some resistance. That's 2,500 ender pearls. Let's go to a real world. I think what fascinates me about this is that the performance is not hindered too much. I'm gonna show the TPS graph here. This is gonna spawn nearly 3,000 ender pearls, probably more because I can't render all of them, but watch this. It's not that bad. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I'm just loading so many chunks at once that I would have expected this to be a lot worse, but you can do this to your heart's desire. I'm gonna double it again. Ow. I am changing stuff. Yeah, it just feels like I'm never gonna crash from this. What? Huh. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Let's try again. Oh, no way. Well, what you're seeing on the screen right now, it appears I cannot recover this world because every time I try to reset it, the ender pearls come back. I may need to reset my player data, and that's because every time I disconnect, the ender pearls just reload when I come back. I don't know what to do. Oh, I think I've really messed this world up. It's like tadpole eggs all over the world. Oh, I think it's... Oh, I think it's working now. Okay, I've given it some... Whoa. I've given it some time to function. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I think what's happened is now that they're not being rendered by the player, it appears to be a little more operation... Something fell. They're not all in the same grid, so I can now sort of move around and I'm not lagging because I'm trying to render 5,000 entities on my screen. I might end up teleporting a whole lot for quite some time. Can I get a block? Oh no! I'm not actually here. Would you look at that? Yeah, try playing Minecraft like this. Nice. Alright, can I actually do something though? Ender pearls. Very good. Chickens. Chickens are now data driven, so I can make them lay diamonds. Yeah. Also, I can make them lay lots of diamonds. Yeah. How many do you got in there? A lot? Okay. I really need to stop crashing my game. Oh, I might just end with this. So, this won't crash my game, surely. Totem of Undyings are now data-driven too. This is through the Death Protection tag. If you add Death Protection to any item, like this dragon head, and I throw myself up like this, that dragon head saves me from death. So water bucket, and then let's say you miss the clutch. I was meant... If you miss the clutch like this, it will still save you. Literally just laughing in your face that you failed. Just like at Mojang that one time. Now, believe what's happening here is that the mechanic is taking the item model directly from your hand. Now, I can sort of extrapolate this from the player head data. Wait, I'm gonna suss this out. Does this exist? Is that a default player head? Doesn't exist. Anyway, let's do death protection. There we go. Let's fly up. And then what's gonna happen is that player head is gonna appear on the screen. It doesn't utilize the default totem texture, which is cool. So you can do stuff like this. It's a rhythm game. New rhythm game unlocked. Subscribe. I'll let you guys know about other stuff I figure out. Wow, is this world still dead? Oh, this world is beyond saving. Oh god.